Again, 21 years ago today, we were told that a man in a cave took down the World Trade Centers. But how many of us really believe that story? How many of you thought it was suspicious that on 9/11 of all days, we had such a national emergency? What are the odds that Al-Qaeda would attack us on 9/11? How many of you know about Operation Amalgam Virgo put on by the federal government? A simulation of Al-Qaeda attacking the United States. Look it up, Operation Amalgam Virgo, June 1st, 2001. Exactly 102 days before the attack that they say lasted 102 minutes. What is a Virgo? Virgo is when September 11th happened. Of course, we're in Virgo right now. What is an amalgam? An amalgam is a metal mixed with mercury. In astrology, Mercury is the deceiver, the trickster. The planet Mercury also rules the time period of Virgo. Think about that. 102 days before the 102-minute attack. It starts to make a lot more sense when you learn the language of the secret societies that are present in DC. That is the Masons and the Jesuits. The book Art of War was translated by the Jesuit priest Father Amiot. And the longest chapter in that book is chapter 11, titled The 9 Situations. That chapter is also 68 paragraphs long, like how in 1968 World Trade Center construction began. New York, or 911 was made the national emergency dialing code, and George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. Again, 102 days before 9/11, it was simulated by the federal government that Al-Qaeda would attack the U.S. When you learn their code, their Kabbalistic code of letters and numbers known as Gematria and also isopsophy, you will find that Al-Qaeda equals 102, as does Art of War. And if you've never read Art of War, it says it's better to defeat your opponent through deception than through actually fighting the war. And that's something to think about. Are we really even Americans anymore? We were raised that Americans were brave and free. That's not what we see in American society anymore. We see enslavement. I thought that's what you're trying to grab. I'm good, Angel. That's why. It's okay. Again, you guys, please research the lies of September 11th. A lot of you might not be aware that 3 buildings fell on 9/11. Of course, there were the tall towers that looked like an 11, but 7 hours later in the day, Building 7 fell. And if you go back, you'll see that the BBC announced Building 7 had fallen. Hold on, we're gonna go get this person. What's up, man? I just want to talk to you. I'm not going to be violent or anything. I just want to know what you're mad about. I just want to know what you're mad about.
Sir.
I can't ask him why he just... Did you guys ask him to come and cuss at us?
So he couldn't speak for himself? He had to be shooed away because he wasn't...
Sir, if somebody paid you to come do that, just come talk to us. I'll give you more money.
You don't need intervention from anybody.
Why did you guys have to do that? I just want to know why he said that to us. He came in and said something nasty to us.
He could have explained that for himself before you shoot him away.
While you walk away, sir, I just want you to look into this. Buildings 1, 2, and 7 fell on 9/11, and they called it the new Pearl Harbor.
Why couldn't the man speak for
What
himself
day was
after
Pearl
he said
Harbor?
something insulting
December
and
7th,
disrespectful?
127. I was just talking about Operation Amalgam Virgo. That simulation took place at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, which opened on the exact same day in history, December 7th, 1941, the same day Pearl Harbor happened. And are you guys aware that Pentagon construction began September 11th, 1941? Are you aware that they did another simulation? It was called Pentagon Maskell. Exactly 322 days before 9/11, they simulated a plane flying into the Pentagon. Why does it matter that it was 322 days? I'll give you a clue. Go back and listen to Tim Russert in 2004 interview Bush and Kerry. He asked them both, what is it about 322 and the number at Yale Skull and Bones? Again, the powerful secret society that allows 15 members per year. They both laughed and said it's a secret society and they can't say anything about it. George W. Bush was the sitting president when 9/11 happened. 11 years to the day of 9/11, his father, who was the 11th director of the CIA, gave a speech about a new world order, a world freer of terror. And we all know what happened 11 years to the day of that speech. The World Trade Centers came down, and they looked like an 11. And they stood in the 11th state, New York, and they blamed it on flight AA-11, right? That's how it all started. Again, when I was a kid, I thought numerology was stupid. Maybe it still is, but it's not to those who rule over us. You learn this simple code of letters and numbers, and you'll see what's going on. Again, we need to think about how in our nation's capital, the secret societies are there. The Jesuits have been in D.C. longer than the federal government, and they call it the Masonic City. Why are there 33 columns on the House of the Temple, the Masonic headquarters in D.C., which has a highest degree of 33, and why are each of those columns 33 feet tall? It also has to do with why World Trade Center construction began in 1968, 33 years before 2001. Again, that's the same year 911 was made the National Emergency Dialing Code, and George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones with, per their own website, a graduating class of 911 members. If you guys don't think we're living out planned rituals, look into when Governor Dewey had his first meeting, his very first meeting about building a World Trade Center. It was July 6th, 1946. The same day George W. Bush was born, the man who was president when it all went down. From Bush's birthday to 9/11 is 68 days, like all those things happened in the year 68. In Gematria, terror equals 68. And right now, Joe Biden's the president. He was the first president, or he wasn't the president then, but he was the first politician to pass counterterrorism legislation. And he passed it exactly 68 days before Oklahoma City blew up, blamed on Timothy McVeigh, born in 1968, like Muhammad Atta. You know what, officers, before I say any more, why do you guys always have to come line up like this when somebody's talking about what the fuck's going on in this nation? Why? You think it's a joke?
Guys, for truth and justice.
I'm sick of for 20 years just seeing officers come up in line up for this shit. What the fuck are you guys defending?
You guys think terrorists did 9/11?
They can't say anything, they're on the job. You guys, you know what fucking Nazis said when they killed millions of people? They said, we're just doing our fucking job.
Fucking bullshit.
I don't want to call you guys fucking Nazis, but what are you? What are you?
Now the big guys are coming.
Did a man in the cave do 9/11?
Nope.
You know?
Now the big guys
Like we're all the good guys, right? Why are we?
We show their numeric rituals.
Who cares, man?
pretty
It's evil
simple.
Who's
shit
in
went down.
charge?
Our
Who's in
fucking
charge?
family
Come talk
members
to us.
And our loved ones got killed in that fucking shit too. Okay? Understand that shit.
Government's not afraid to kill
You know? We're supposed to be on the same fucking side, right? Right?
Exactly.
We got hurt from this shit too.
You know what? This man just swallowed hard. I saw you just swallow hard. That's a body reaction. You know that we're right. I know you got to pay the bills, my man.
You guys know we're fucking right.
I
You
know.
know it.
You guys are the ones that
This is
protect
fucking-
these
your bosses
tyrants
are
that
evil
rule
as
over us.
fuck.
You know what? You wouldn't have to come out here and do your damn slave job if we didn't live in this hellhole. You know that? Think about how... Hey, you guys, before Christopher Columbus, the great fucking founder who journaled about how easy it was to rape the natives and murder the people who only had bow and arrows who have to learn about in slave school every fucking year. Remember, once upon a time, there were people who lived here in harmony with their tribe, in harmony with the land. They didn't have to get paper notes to stay in shelter. All they had to do was feed themselves and maintain their community and live in harmony and enjoy life. Look at us. We don't have family. We don't have nothing. All we got is debt and slavery. We're enslaved to a system. Most of you don't even care. You'll go out and line up like gerbils for Pfizer because Anderson Cooper told you you're not a real man if you don't go get the pokey doke. And then they tell you 5 seconds later, this segment's sponsored by Pfizer, like you're some kind of fucking moron.
Who's in charge? It makes me sick that for 20 years I've been speaking about this and shit's been getting a million times worse, just like I said it would back then. And it's always this same damn scene, lining up like I'm some kind of fucking threat. I'm not a violent person. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. Why don't we go get Larry Silverstein?
Where the fuck is Larry Silverstein at? How much money did you make? You sick fucks. Where's Donald Rumsfeld? Oh yeah, he's in the grave. Remember when he told us we'll find the weapons? They're north, south, east, and west of fuck knows where. And what did he say the day before 9/11? He said, sorry, America. He said, sorry, America. We lost $2.3 trillion. We lost $2.3 trillion. Sorry, America. We got to become transparent. We got to reduce the budget.
Of course they are.
Don't you guys think it's a fucking joke? Donald Rumsfeld, 2.3 trillion. I'm not misspeaking. That's 2.3 billion times 1,000. That's our fucking blood, sweat, and tears. Just stolen. And you know what they put it into? It's the black budget. It's what they use. Hey, NYPD. Hey, NYPD, how come the cameras were off on April 12th? When the shooter who got away for 30 hours, fuck Eric Adams. Oh, we got him in 30 hours. Fuck you, man. Are you kidding me? On the anniversary of the motherfucking start of the Civil War, we have an underground railroad shooting. They think it's a nation of fucking morons, and you know what? They're right. It is a nation of fucking morons. But here's the people who aren't. The 50 fucking people standing next to me. Where's the millions in this country that are just walking along, ready for another fucking pair of jeans, sunglasses, whatever the fuck you want. Another rigged fucking football game.
There's 39 of them.
Fashion Week.
There's 39 of them.
There's 39
There's
of them.
39 of them. Like you know, there's 39.
Wow.
But you know what it is. 111 days left.
None of you can speak.
Federal 39.
You know what? I used to be a school teacher. You know how I lost my job? Talking about the symbolism of Martin Luther King Jr. getting smoked on the 95th day of the year. You know why it matters? Because Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses and said, fuck you, Catholic Church, and your tyranny. You guys don't get it, do you? This country was founded by people trying to escape the government of Europe, which was the Catholic Church. The Jesuits were created to kill Martin Luther in the 95 Theses. You want to know something funny about Martin Luther? He was killed in the year 1546. JFK was killed at age 46, the nation's first Catholic president. Beau Biden was killed at age 46. And now we got Uncle Joe, who looks like he's about to blow away in the fucking wind as number 46, elected 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday.
But that's a coincidence.
And what's the word Catholic equal in Gematria? It equals 46, like the 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament. You know what WTC equals? It equals fucking 46. That's who brought down your fucking towers, not a man in a cave. And you want to know something? Fuck Rudy Giuliani, that Catholic piece of shit. By the way, you guys, let me apologize because I'm not against Catholicism, but I'm against Rudy Giuliani. Let me tell you something. He was the 107th mayor of this town, and the World Trade Centers came down on the 107th day of his age, and then we invaded Afghanistan on 10/7, and we killed 1 million fucking brown people that didn't have a goddamn thing to do with anything. You know why we did it on 10/7? You gotta learn Gematria to understand how these fucking psychopaths work. The word military equals 107. That's the day leaving 85 days left in the year. The word Templar equals 85. And what did Bush say? He said we were on a crusade. That's what the Templars did. For the Catholic Church.
Facts.
What society was Bush in? He was in Skull and Bones. Where do they get their symbolism from? The way the Templars bury their dead in an ossuary. We're ruled over by the fucking Catholic Church, you idiots. Wake the fuck up. You Lutherans aren't any different. I was raised Lutheran. If you're in there on Sunday, drinking blood and eating bodies, you're part of this demonic Catholic religion. And by the way, that IHS in the Jesuit logo, it stands for Jesus Hominum Salvator. Look at it, Gematria. That adds up to 274. Like how the Catholic Church has celebrated the sun's birthday since 274 AD on Christmas Day.
Bunch of pussies.
What are you Christians doing? You're worshiping the fucking sun.
They put a little fence up. All right. Good God.
Can somebody over there who's the boss come over here and tell me why you got to line up against the fucking truth seekers? Are we carrying a megaphone and cameras or fucking AR-15s out here? What is going on?
Exactly. Exactly.
You guys are having a good laugh. You're probably the same ones in the church raping the little boys, aren't you? Let's talk about
You
George
know
Floyd.
it.
Let's talk about George Floyd, 8 minutes and 46 seconds on the neck. That's funny, right? In the Twin Cities, just like how the first plane hit at 8:46.
This is a big fucking
You want to
joke,
know
right?
something? They killed George Floyd on the 225th day of his age, and the next day the Catholic Church in Minnesota settled for $22.5 million for the sexual abuse of children. Then they gave Derek Chauvin 22 and a half years in prison. It's all number games. It's all number games. Look at the Kabbalah. It says on the first paragraph, God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. These Catholic fucks think that they rule this world and they are God. They're not. And all they got protecting them are stooges like this. You guys are the fucking Nazis right now. Take a good look in the mirror tonight, NYPD. You guys are fucking Nazis.
You don't even know it. Sad but true. Accept it.
The police are helping us make a
Send you to
scene.
wear that badge. That's what you are.
They're just taking their little orders. Well, that's what the fuck.
Which one of you has fucking balls? Which one of you? Which one of you knows I'm right and will speak up and give up their fucking slave job? I'll tell you what, how much do you guys make out here as NYPD? I know they pay you a lot more than in Seattle. You know, by the way, I got on camera a Seattle police officer. I asked him point blank, I said, how come you guys don't do anything about Antifa? You guys wouldn't be here for Antifa. Antifa could be bear macing these fucking people in the face. You guys would just be driving by. Who gives a shit about if Antifa's bear macing people in the face? But the Seattle cop told me point blank. He goes, take it up with your city council. They told us to leave him alone. You want to know why? It's because it's a fucking federal agenda to divide us even more. You guys are just fucking order followers, no different than any Nazi fucking scum or any other fascist regime for history. And if you know what I'm saying is true, then you should retire that fucking badge and come out here and stand with us. If not, you're exactly what Martin Luther King Jr. talked about. MLK said a year to the day of his speech. A year to the day of his murder, MLK gave a speech that nobody talks about in school. Can't talk about this in indoctrination school. He gave the speech, Beyond Vietnam, a time to break silence. He said, what's tearing apart this nation is the military-industrial complex. We're sending our young people to murder innocents, and they're coming back and bringing all that wrong energy, all that hate to their families. And they're ruining their own families and their own lives. And look at what's going on. Look at all the homeless vets on the street. Go walk by the Catholic Church at night. They always got the money. They need more money. But look at all the homeless people sleeping outside these cathedrals. All you guys who believe in these fake religions, in this bullshit ass government. Remember what's in the middle of that word, believe. Lie. B-E-L-I-E. Be the lie. Here's what it looks like, you guys. I know we all got to pay the bills, but we better think about what we're doing.
They work for tyrants. They work under tyranny. Right, don't even know.
Here, you want to yell back at me at the megaphone? What's your message?
Yeah.
Let's just laugh back there. They don't know. They probably
I
don't
know.
know.
You guys don't know shit. That's the fucking problem.
I hope they think about it from now on.
They don't know what to do unless it comes to the walkie-talkie. They don't know what to do.
Because you guys may not be fucking bad people, but what you're doing right now is fucking evil. Understand that.
You gotta stop.
You're fighting people that are supposed to be on the same side. We both understand that this was.
Here, let me drop some more gems on you. I already did them today, but maybe you didn't all hear. Take a good look at this building here. You see the nice tribute to the pyramid? Remember, there were once 2 towers here. Then there was 0. Then there was 1. This is a big pattern in history, 201. If you look into the Great Pyramid of Giza, you'll find that there's 201 remaining layers of stone. And again, there's this ancient practice going back to Babylon. It's as simple as A. It's like Michael Jackson. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. If you write out Great Pyramid of Giza, it equals 201. Okay? the day that we drew up the Great Seal in history, June 13th, 1782, that was the day leaving 201 days left in the year. Again, 2 towers became 0, became 1. Who's about this 201 number? It's the Jesuits. We're in the time of Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, who's also the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. And if you write out his birth name and add up the letters, Jorge Mario Bergoglio equals 201, just like the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, equals 201. And the Jesuits are from France, and I'm sure you all know the only footage in the world of the plane flying into the First World Trade Center was caught by some Frenchmen, and their names equal 201. Again, you guys, the last French Pope in the history of the church was the 201st. The 201st, the last French Pope, where the Jesuits were created, Pope Francis. Again, you guys, every last thing they're doing in this nation is they divide us and tear us apart, from George Floyd to the April 12th subway shooting, to the top shooting on Hillary Clinton's 201st day of her age, who cut the ribbon on the store, to the the Tulsa race riot anniversary shooting, who can forget? 201 days after the Black Pope's birthday. That's what they're trying to do. Divide us amongst everything: race, religion, sexuality. Here's a good one: Caitlyn Jenner. That equals 201. These things are not an accident, you guys. They want us divided. That's how the Jesuits have always ruled. They know if they keep people divided and believing in bullshit, they can easily be controlled.
Do any of the police want to say anything yet? Is there a reason that you guys put a fence up here and acted like we're some kind of threat because we're spreading information? I thought this was a fucking democracy. All democracies are based on information. But look at what it really is. When you come out and speak the facts, you get shut down. You get fired from your job. You get arrested. You get your house ruined. You're looking at somebody who had the police raid their fucking house for sharing this information and destroyed my livelihood. That was back in 2014. And for all of you guys who are afraid to quit your slave job, the good news is if you stand up for truth, people might support you. I'm able to pay the bills because of the people who stand behind me and the thousands of others who aren't here today. But if you do the right thing, the right things will come back to you. When you do the wrong thing, you'll be part of the evil and tyranny that's driving us to destruction right now. And I would honestly say, all of these authority types, from police to government, you guys are the driving force of the destruction of this nation. Yo, Mike, you gotta speak.
I know.
They'll make way for him.
If you guys were impressed by what I had to say, here comes the real man of the hour.
Come here, Mike.
Yeah!
So niggas are split up. You so dangerous.
Where you at?